Your morning cup of tea isn't what you think it is. That comforting brew you're sipping right now, it might contain billions of microplastic particles, pesticides banned in over 140 countries, and chemicals linked to cancer and infertility. I spent weeks investigating American tea brands. What I found will make you pour your current cup straight down the sink. Some of these so-called natural brands are selling you dust, artificial flavoring, and leaves contaminated with substances banned in food production. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly which 7 tea brands are lying to you. The ones using the cheapest ingredients, the most dangerous additives, and the most deceptive marketing. By the end, you'll know exactly which teas to avoid and what you should be drinking instead. 1. Celestial Seasonings. That cheerful box with the sleepy bear. The 100% natural label printed right on the front. The tea your mom probably gave you when you couldn't sleep. Celestial Seasonings looks like everything wholesome tea should be. Then a class action lawsuit ripped that image apart. In 2013, independent lab tests found that 91% of Celestial Seasonings teas contained pesticide residues exceeding U.S. federal limits. Not trace amounts, not borderline levels. 91% failed. Some of the chemicals detected, like propacla, are considered probable human carcinogens. Others are linked to serious developmental harm, which is terrifying when you consider how many of their products are marketed toward children and families for relaxation and wellness. The lawsuit specifically challenged their 100% natural claim, arguing that tea contaminated with synthetic pesticides simply isn't natural. In its defense, the company didn't even deny the presence of these residues. Instead, they argued that the pesticides would be diluted to safe levels once the tea was brewed in hot water. It's a defense that doesn't inspire confidence. It basically admits the contamination is there in the box, and just hopes you wash most of it away. 2. Lipton. It's one of the most recognizable tea brands on the planet, found in diners and pantries across the country. But its mass-market production model comes at a steep cost to your health. A Greenpeace investigation into Lipton tea sold in China found that every single sample tested contained a cocktail of multiple pesticides. Some of the chemicals found were even banned for use in the European Union, yet they were sitting on store shelves. The issue isn't just pesticides. Lipton primarily uses fannings or dust, the tiny leftover fragments from processing whole tea leaves. This low-grade material has almost no inherent flavor, which is why the company relies heavily on added and artificial flavorings to make their tea taste like anything at all. Even worse is the bag it comes in. Lipton's signature pyramid-shaped bags, which they marketed as a premium feature for better infusion, are made from plastic, specifically polyethylene terephthalate. A 2019 study revealed that a single one of these plastic tea bags releases approximately 11.6 billion microplastic and 3.1 billion nanoplastic particles into your cup when steeped in hot water. You're drinking a chemical soup brewed in a plastic bag. Despite being owned by Unilever, a corporate giant with immense resources to source cleaner tea and use safer packaging, Lipton continues to prioritize cheap production over consumer safety. 3. Tiana. Once the crown jewel of mall-based tea shops, Tiana was positioned as a premium, sophisticated alternative to supermarket brands. With its exotic blends and high price tag, you'd expect the highest quality and safety. But independent testing told a very different story. An investigation found that 100% of Tiana's teas were contaminated with pesticides. One of their products, monkey-picked oolong, contained 23 different pesticides alone. Worse still, many of these chemicals, like endosulfan, were banned in the EU and over 140 other countries due to their toxic effects on human health and the environment. This means many of Tiana's products would be illegal to sell in Europe. Although Starbucks closed most of Tiana's physical stores, the brand lives on. You can still buy Tiana tea, and it's the default tea served in thousands of Starbucks locations worldwide. That premium price you pay for a Tiana tea at Starbucks is not buying you a premium, clean product. It's buying you a brand name that has been shown to be a mask for industrial-grade contamination. 4. Bigelow. As another family-owned brand with a wholesome, all-American image, Bigelow promotes its products with phrases like "manufactured in the USA," but this clever wording is a classic case of marketing misdirection. The tea is packaged in the US, but the leaves themselves are sourced from plantations all over the world, including countries with notoriously lax regulations on pesticide use. This distinction is critical because lab tests have exposed what's really in their tea. Independent testing detected glyphosate, the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, in samples of Bigelow's green tea. Glyphosate is classified by the World Health Organization as a probable human carcinogen. When confronted with these findings, the company's response echoed that of Celestial Seasonings. They didn't deny the presence of glyphosate. Instead, their defense rested on the idea that the chemical would be diluted to negligible amounts once brewed. This "it washes out" argument is a recurring theme among these brands, a tacit admission that the raw ingredients they use are not as pure as their natural branding would have you believe. 5. Yogi Tea. This brand built its entire identity around health, wellness, and Ayurvedic principles. With inspirational quotes on every tea bag tag, it's marketed as a conscious choice for a healthy lifestyle. Many of their products are even USDA certified organic. That's why a massive recall in early 2024 was so shocking. The FDA announced a recall of nearly 900,000 bags of Yogi tea, specifically their organic Echinacea immune support tea, due to excessive pesticide contamination. The fact that a certified organic product could be so contaminated that it warranted a major recall exposes a fundamental weakness in the global organic supply chain. The organic certification is supposed to be a guarantee against synthetic pesticides, but enforcement can be spotty, especially when ingredients are sourced from numerous international suppliers. This incident proves that even when you're paying a premium for an organic label from a wellness brand, you want to be certain that you're safe from the very chemicals you're trying to avoid. 6. Tetley. As one of the largest tea companies in the world, Tetley has a massive global footprint. But with that scale comes the dark side of industrial agriculture. An investigation by the CBC Marketplace tested teas from various popular brands, and Tetley's green tea stood out for all the wrong reasons. Their samples were found to contain a staggering cocktail of up to 22 different pesticides. This wasn't just a single rogue chemical, it was a blend of toxins. Even more disturbing was the presence of chemicals like monocrotophos, which was banned in many countries decades ago due to its extreme toxicity, yet it was still showing up in their tea leaves. While the company maintains that the levels of each individual pesticide are within legal limits, this defense completely ignores the cocktail effect. Scientists have warned that the combination of multiple low-dose chemicals can have a synergistic and far more harmful effect on the body than any single chemical on its own. Legal compliance doesn't equal safety, especially when you're steeping a chemical concoction in your mug every morning. 7. Draped in a legacy of British heritage and bearing a royal warrant, Twinings cultivates an image of sophisticated high-quality tea. It's the brand that suggests tradition, class, and uncompromising standards, but that premium branding appears to be little more than a marketing veneer. Independent testing has found that Twinings teas are far from pure. One report revealed over 30 different pesticide residues across their product line, with some teas containing more than 10 different chemicals in a single bag. Like other mass-market brands, Twinings often relies on added and natural flavorings to create a consistent product. This is a common industry tactic used to mask the taste of stale, low-quality tea dust and fannings that have been sitting in warehouses for months. The royal image and the higher price tag create the illusion of quality, but the lab results show a different reality. The sourcing is just as industrial as cheaper brands, and the price you pay is for the fancy box and the story, not for cleaner, safer tea.